This is CTC News with Wesley Kotar, broadcasting from Sint-Eustatius, Dutch Caribbean. Sponsored by Utel NV, Windward Island Bank, Kodo's Purchasing Services, and Duggins Shopping Center.
It's Monday, May 27, 2013 on the Golden Rock. Good evening, I am Wesley Kotar and this is CTC News broadcasting live from CTC Studios at Stations Mall. In tonight's local news, Civil Registry Delegation to Basic Administration meeting, hindrance permit for New Star Terminals NV, license unit closed to the public, and Mishulaika holds Back to My Roots concert on Statia. Details in local news right after this.
All I know is hustle and that motivation. So I'm on my grind like it's an obligation. And I was down before in countless situations. I just got back up and now I fly like there's no gravitation. Came from the bottom and I saw that I'ma make it up. And all this work keep paying off if you don't give it up. I remember when I just kept on slipping up. And now I hear a beat and now all I do is rip it up. And I'ma get what's mine, tell them G'd up cause I'm on that grind. All I know is going hard, if you don't grind and you don't shine. A lot of people got the chance but they got intercepted. I don't let haters take me down, I stay protected.
CTC News, sponsored by Utel NV, Windward Island Bank, Kodo's Purchasing Services, and Duggins Shopping Center.
Two members of the Civil Registry of Sint-Eustatius and Director of Public Affairs and Support, Nadia van Putten, traveled to Aruba to attend a meeting concerning the so-called Municipal Basic Administration, or GBA. Interim Unit Manager and GBA Specialist of the Civil Registry, Ricardo Ching Aloy, and GBA Specialist of the Ministry of Home Affairs and Kingdom Relations, Irma Brouwer-Stimmer, who is currently assisting the Civil Registry with upgrading its administration, are also part of Statia's delegation to the conference. Representatives of all the islands of the Dutch Caribbean will be attending this meeting, which is intended to increase the quality of administration and to bring to the same level as in the municipalities of the European Netherlands. A separate meeting for the special entities Bonaire, Statia, and Saba will be held on Wednesday. Ching Aloy said they are working hard to acquire a high level of standard in keeping and maintaining records of residents. The Executive Council of Sint-Eustatius announced that a final decision has been made concerning a permit for New Star Terminals NV. Under the Hindrance Ordinance, the Executive Council is responsible for reviewing the application and the granting of the permit for New Star Terminal. In the Hindrance Ordinance, the Island Council issued regulations for waste, sewage, noise, risk to the environment, soil protection, air emissions, materials, and fire safety. With the granting of the Hindrance permit, New Star Terminal will also be held to international industry standards and thereby replacing previous decisions. The new permit will also comply with future modern regulations, such as the law Vroom-Bes. The hindrance permit has been realized in cooperation with the Ministry of Infrastructure and the Environment and specialized consultancy agencies. During the period from May 25th up to and including July 5th, 2013, there is the opportunity for interested parties that have filed objections to draft permit to lodge an appeal against the Executive Council's decision to grant the final permit at the Court of First Instance of Bonaire, Sint-Eustatius, and Saba. The final permit can be reviewed at the Directorate of Economy and Infrastructure in Statia. New Star Terminals in Sint-Eustatius is one of the largest in the world. An amount of 2,300,000 cubic meters of petroleum product is handled there. The terminal provides approximately 1,400 shipping movements annually and is an important pillar for Stacia's economy. The Licenses Unit of the Department of Economic Affairs at Henry Johnson Weg, number 6, will be closed to the public from Monday, June 3rd to Wednesday, June 5th, 2013. The unit will be open again to the public on June 6th. For urgent matters, persons may send an email to economicaffairs@statiagov.com. The R&B soul jazz singer Richardson did a small island tour to the Caribbean, of which her roots are from. The historical island of St. Eustatius, the Golden Rock, was one of those islands. The tour started off on beautiful Stacia, where Michu Laika and her entire band and road crew started their journey. On arrival, the Mega D Youth Foundation was there to welcome the crew, along with the support of St. Eustatius Tourism that provided the transportation for the crew for their 3 days on the island. Tour guides Brian Carty and Selford Gibbs set off with the group on their adventurous tour around the island, which was documented for promotional use. The recording artist Michu Laika expressed astonishment by the amazing sights and the historical treasures of Stacia. Visiting with families who were delighted to see her, she not only shared warm feelings but also made memorable photos. Throughout the rest of the day, Michu Laika and band members all settled into Old Gin House, which was also the main sponsor of her visit. After having lunch, they all rested and continued to the musical side of the tour. Meeting with one of Stacia's recording soca artists, Showtime, they made way to the studio for an exchange musical project. This project was a very interesting one where both artists exchanged their songs and did a remake in their own style. After a wonderful evening, the band was extremely tired and called it a night. On Sunday, May 19th was the big event at the Old Gin House. Creating a wonderful lounge setting, Michu Laika ended the tour with a performance for the people. Local recording artist Showtime opened the floor with a great showcase. Special guest artists were Ortiz Faith Schmidt and Leoncio Private Lopes, who also touched the stage. Family, friends, and fans came out to this event where everyone enjoyed the wonderful music and performances. The Mega D Youth Foundation wishes to thank the Old Gin House, Tourism Department, Turbulence Band for the sounds, and Selford Gibbs and Brian Carty, Trick Studios, and Wade Rivers for Taxi 5 and number 7. Coming up next in regional news, Kingdom Conference to replace by consultations, roads in St. Kitts to undergo multi-million-dollar upgrade. Details in regional and later international news after a short break.
CT Creativity, known to many as CTC, has gone global. CTC TV and CTC Radio can be viewed and heard from any part of the world. Just visit www.ctcreativity.com and go to CTC TV to watch live or CTC Radio to listen live. Get more involved by interacting with your TV and radio hosts with live chat rooms. You can also view the latest trending videos, CTC News, take part in polls, vote for the top songs or videos, and much more. www.ctcreativity.com. www.ctcreativity.com. Share it with the world. Share it with the world. Share it with the world. Share it with the world.
CTC News, sponsored by UTLNV, Wynwood Island Bank, Kodo's Purchasing Services, and Duggins Shopping Center.
The Kingdom Conference, during which the governments of the Netherlands, Curaçao, Aruba, and St. Martin were to discuss matters of mutual interest, will not be held this year but will take the form of less formal Kingdom consultations. Reason for this is a lack of progress within the various work groups, Minister of Home Affairs and Kingdom Relations Ronald Plasterk said on Friday. The Kingdom Conference was to be held in Aruba next month. Minister Plasterk said this during a presentation to members of the Association Antillean Network, during which he also addressed recent developments on the islands, among which the murder of Helmine Wheels and the political crisis in St. Martin. The work groups mentioned by Plasterk were installed after the Kingdom Conference of December 2011. Representatives of the four governments were to discuss arrangements to settle disputes, the traffic of persons and goods, and the right to unilaterally revoke consensus kingdom laws. Curaçao and St. Martin, however, seemed to be too occupied with building their respective countries and did not have much time for discussions about the above-mentioned subjects. During the Interparliamentary Consultations on Kingdom Relations, IPKO, which were held in March, the parliamentary delegations of the 4 countries requested extra attention from their governments for these work groups. Aruba was most concerned about the settlement of disputes, whereas the Netherlands wanted to give priority to arrangements for the flow of persons and goods between the kingdom countries. Conservative Party VVD, which considers the movement of persons of great importance, has indicated it wants to pose questions about the postponement of the Kingdom Conference. Further in regional news, the road infrastructure in St. Kitts continues to be upgraded to make commuting safer and hassle-free, as outlined at a recent ceremony signaling the start of 3 major road developments. Minister of Public Works and Utilities, Dr. Earl Asim Martin, revealed that the project would significantly enhance traffic flow. These include the construction of a roundabout on the Frigate Bay Road opposite the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, servicing 5 roadways. Also, the repaving of the Cockleshell Bay Road to the Pelican Mall, traversing Sandown Road in Newton and passing through the Bay Road in Basseterre will be executed. A new drainage system is featured in this upgrade. Thirdly, phase 1 of the cutting of the hill and benching at Timothy Hill. Martin stressed that the project is very important to the government of St. Kitts and Nevis and added that citizens would benefit as it aims to create jobs for locals. Martin mentioned that this project is valued at almost 25 million EC dollars in construction work. He stated that this is by far the largest project being undertaken by the government this year, and thanked the respective stakeholders who have come on board to make it possible. Martin declared that the Timothy Hill is of top priority and is the largest aspect of this project. He further went on to say that the aim was to get as many locals on board as possible. According to the Director of Public Works Department, George Gilbert, work on these developments started as early as December 2012 and are expected to conclude in October of this year, with the exception of Phase 2 at Timothy Hill, which most likely commence after Phase 1 is completed in the next 16 weeks. Tonight in international news, stop wrecking people's lives and repent, Pope tells Mafia. Pope Francis has spoken out against mafia organizations exploiting and enslaving people and called on mafioso to repent in words that recalled an impassioned plea by Pope John Paul II 20 years ago. Speaking off the cuff after his weekly Angelus blessing in St. Peter's Square, Francis spoke about the mafia for the first time since he became pontiff 2 months ago. His profiles killings by the Italian mafia have declined since the 1990s, but through activities such as prostitution, extortion, and drug trafficking, they still wield a heavy influence over the country and its economy. Italy's main crime groups, the Sicilian Cosa Nostra and the Camorra from around the southern city of Naples, have a joint annual turnover of 116 billion euros, according to the United Nations. That is more than the annual sales of Italy's biggest company, oil giant Eni. Francis recalled the examples of the Sicilian anti-mafia priest Giuseppe Puglisi, who was killed by gunmen in 1993 outside his home in the island's capital of Palermo and was beautified on Saturday. My thoughts are with the suffering of women, men, and also children who are exploited by the many mafias who make them slaves through prostitution, through many social pressures, he said. They cannot do this. They cannot make our brothers slave. We must pray to the Lord to make these mafioso convert to God. In one of his most famous addresses in Agrigento, Sicily, in May 1993, John Paul angrily called on mafioso to repent because one day he will face the judgment of God. That was it for our local, regional, and international news stories. Coming up next, your 3-day weather forecast for Stacia, Seba, and St. Martin. Stay tuned for weather updates right after this break.
The greatest gift of all.
Education is the #1 driving force in a successful future. But great parenting prepares a child for the challenges to come and motivates any child to accomplish and succeed.
Be your child's role model
And be the best parent you can be.
Learn great parenting guides
and strategies at www.parenting.org.
Motivate and educate. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making.
CT Creativity, known to many as CTC, has gone global. CTC TV and CTC Radio can be viewed and heard from any part of the world. Just visit www.ctcreativity.com and go to CTC TV to watch live or CTC Radio to listen live. Get more involved by interacting with your TV and radio hosts with live chat rooms. You can also view the latest trending videos, CTC News, take part in polls, vote for the top songs or videos, and much more. www.ctcreativity.com. www.ctcreativity.com. Share it with the world. Share it with the world. Share it with the world. Share it with the world.
CTC News, sponsored by UTLNV, Wynwood Island Bank, Kodo's Purchasing Services, and Duggins Shopping Center.
Welcome back, and now for your 3-day weather forecast. We begin this evening on Stacia and Sabre. Tonight, Monday, May 27th, thunder showers with temperatures of 83 degrees Fahrenheit, 70% chances of rain with the winds east at 18 miles per hour. Tomorrow, Tuesday, May 28th, thunder showers with temperatures of 83 degrees Fahrenheit, 60% chances of rain with winds east at 19 miles per hour. On Wednesday, May 29th, scattered showers and winds with temperatures of 83 degrees Fahrenheit, 60% chances of rain with the winds east at 20 miles per hour. We now move over to weather conditions on St. Martin. Tonight, Monday, May 27th, thunder showers with temperatures of 84 degrees Fahrenheit, 70% chances of rain with winds east at 14 miles per hour. Tomorrow, Tuesday, May 28th, thunder showers with temperatures of 60 degrees Fahrenheit, 85 degrees Fahrenheit, 60% chances of rain with the winds east at 14 miles per hour. Finally, on Wednesday, May 29th, scattered showers and winds, 85 degrees Fahrenheit, 60% chances of rain with winds east at 16 miles per hour. Thanks again for joining us. This has been another edition of CTC News Live. We will be back on Wednesday with more on what's making the news home and abroad. Join us again on Wednesday, but until then, do have a good one.